I'm Jordan Raynor, and this is the Word Before Work. Today we're reading from Psalm 90, verse 17. Here's what it says. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. Again, that's Psalm 90, 17. This is the final verse of Psalm 90, the only psalm that credits Moses as its author. And it's not surprising that Moses concludes this psalm with these words, as he prayed a similar prayer 6 times in the book of Deuteronomy alone. Why was this such a frequent prayer of Moses? I've been thinking a lot about that lately. Here are my thoughts. First, I think Moses understood that this prayer is a practical way of reminding ourselves that God alone produces results through our work. In Deuteronomy 8, Moses said, quote, "It is God who gives you the ability to produce wealth," end quote. How do we remind ourselves of that truth? By joining Moses in praying the words of today's passage for God to establish the work of our hands. Second, I think Moses continually offered up this prayer because it is deep within the heart of any human being for our work to outlive us. And that is what Moses is praying for here. The Hebrew word for establish the work of our hands literally means to make permanent. And isn't that what we all long for? Arthur Miller says it is. In his play, Death of a Salesman, Miller said that, quote, "Our desire to leave a thumbprint on the world is a need greater than hunger or sex or thirst, a need for immortality, and by admitting it, the knowing that one has carefully inscribed one's name on a cake of ice on a hot July day." That's spot on, right? The question, of course, is which work will be made permanent? In short, any work done in the Lord. See 1 Corinthians 15:58. Any work done for his glory rather than our own. Because unless the things on our to-do lists are on God's to-do list, eventually they'll amount to nothing. So what's on God's to-do list? The advancement of the gospel, working heartily as unto the Lord, doing excellent work as a means of loving your neighbor as yourself, making disciples of all nations, and working with Jesus to make all things new. Pray that the Lord would establish that work of your hands today. Today's devotional only scratches the surface of how God's word connects to our work. If you want to go deeper, sign up for my free 20-day devotional called The Word Before Work Foundations at twbwfoundations.com. These email devotionals are designed to help you gain a rich understanding of the biblical narrative of work, how exactly your work matters for eternity, and what those truths mean for how we ought to work today. Sign up right now, again, totally free at twbwfoundations.com.